Alright, but anyways, now that we've talked about pillars, we've got the actual fundamentals.
The actual fundamentals.
Right, and I've actually talked about all of these in the previous ones. So this one is kind of gonna, we're gonna tie them all together ish.
Yeah, they all are already tied together, which is the madness part. But yeah,
Right.
like I said, that's what makes it so hard to see visible improvement. Is it's like, okay, I'm working on my offense, but what is that, you know? But anyways, yeah, we'll get into it here.
Right. Give this a bit of time.
To adjust.
Just long enough so that it shows up on the scrubber bar.
Mhm.
Alright. Hopefully that's long enough. Alright, anyways. So we've got the four basic fundamentals that pretty much everyone agrees on. You've got, defense, offense, punishment. I talked, I've got tutorials on all four of those up on the Seattle Tekken YouTube channel already.
Someone link it in the chat. I'm sure someone will do.
Okay. Yeah, so if you need any more help on those four,
This it says 3 fundamentals. A defense. Sub article 1 defense.
I
Got it.
I meant
Oh, defense. You meant to fill that part in later?
I meant to link, put links to the tutorials on there.
Ah, okay.
But I forgot. Yeah, so yeah, I mean those are just the names of the tutorials that I did. So outside of what was what we covered in those ones, I don't have a whole lot more to say in this particular one, but I just wanted to point out how the pillars affect each one of these things, I guess. So defense, you need to be able to block and move, punish.
You got to be able to execute your punish. You got to know that punish exists, or you got to know that you can duck this, second hit or sidestep right to third hit, or you got to have the knowledge and you got to have the execution to do it, the implementation of it,
and you have to be able to
make that decision. Yeah.
So for offense, you've got to be able to execute your offense, your pokes, your offensive movements. You have to know what your pokes are.
Gotta have the knowledge.
Have the knowledge. And you have to make good decisions on when to attack and what to attack with. Movement. It's all the same thing. You got to be able to execute. Movement in Tekken is very execute heavy. So that's going to be a lot of work practicing to execute that.
One thing I want to mention about movement, I wasn't here for the movement. That was Jana, wasn't it? The probably the most important thing about movement is that it's like for a while I had a really good Korean backdash, but remembering to do it as soon as possible is a big thing. That's what like really separates like Koreans from Americans, is like they'll block a down forward 1 or do a down forward 1 and then immediately begin backdashing or moving one way or the other. It's like I really trained this sort of aspect when I kept getting hit by Yoshimitsu's sword sweep while I was holding still. Jemiah just has setups. He'll do the first hit of a string and then sword sweep you. And I'm just sitting here waiting for the second hit of the string holding back. I really should have been immediately backdashing. And so that is something that people talk about. Like, you can look at your movement and say, hey, I've got good movement, look at me go. But you have to immediately begin moving, because that's when moves that people think won't whiff or can't whiff, that's when they'll whiff, when you're backdashing immediately, as soon as you can. That's a very important part about movement that I wanted to mention somewhere, and here's my chance. Yeah.
Man, so I mean that brings into the
decision making.
Decision making and knowledge, knowing that you can backdash out of certain situations.
You can basically always backdash, but like I say, the decision to backdash is usually, I've even made that decision before. I'm going to do a down forward 1 and then hightail it out of there and see what happens. The decision to backdash is made before I do the down forward one or as I'm doing it, and then so as a effect of that decision is that I'm moving as soon as possible, maximizing the chance that someone's going to retaliate and whiff. Because I mean, a few frames can make the difference between your backdash. You block the down forward one, or you get out of range and get them back.
And then punishment. You have to be able to execute your punishers. You have to know what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we talked a little bit about that in the defense side of things.
Yeah. Punishment is kind of tied to defense a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of its own thing, too.
But also whip punishing. Know what your whip punishers are.
Yeah, which is tied to movement.
Right.
So it's all intermingled here. You have to exercise all the fundamentals and decision making simultaneously, and that's what makes it crazy difficult.
All right. So, anyways, now with all this stuff that you got to work on,
take your time because it's not easy.
All right. Okay. So now we've got the
Practicing the pillars of fundamentals.
Yeah. Practicing the pillars